Hello UK fans, Madarant here, and welcome to a deck profile with DD Speedroid. I'm using the Speedroid engine to quickly access Olay's Meteor Burst, so technically I don't have to waste my normal summon on like Kepler and not have something to go with it. Meteor Burst will give me easier access to Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and it does a lot of things for me. It's really nice card, essentially, and Speedroid engine is very good engine at the moment. I'm also using the Cubidity engine to speed up the deck, but I'm not running over 40 cards just to counteract that. I don't think it's very necessary in a DD deck. It's not supposed to last multiple turns. It can OTK on turn 2 if you open it with something that can get you Princess Sprite, a Siegfried, a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. You pretty much have game there. This deck can open up with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Siegfried, or Omega and Titanic Galaxy if it wants to, obviously, depending on your draws. Sometimes you can be dead drawn and sometimes you can't. And it can use some nice interactions with stuff like where after. If you activate 2 in 1 turn, you have D-Arc on the ball, you gain 4,000 life points, which can be very, very good. I've actually done that during the stream yesterday, which was pretty funny indeed. This deck has a lot of potential to be very much meta, and when we get all the stuff in TCG, I would expect it to be meta. So without further ado, let's go into the deck list. We have triple DD Abyss Ragnarok, the Oblivion King. He has 2 good effects. His Pendulum Scale effect is when a DD is special summoned, you can target a DD in your graveyard, special summon it, your opponent takes half damage for the rest of the turn, you lose 1,000 life points, well, take 1,000 damage, and if you have D-Arc on the board, you're gaining 1,000 life points, which is decent enough. And the secondary effect is the Bear effect, is when it is normal or special summoned, you can target a DDD monster in your graveyard and resurrect it. So it gives you instant access for rank 8 plays and can revive your fusion and synchro and exceed monsters, which can be quite nice. You probably wouldn't revive Kali Yuga, to be fair, but you would usually revive something like Siegfried, D-Arc, Temujin, depending on what has been used for run earlier in that duel. And its secondary effect is that you can tribute another DD monster to target 1 card on the field and banish it. This can out stuff like Eternal Soul, Domain, Cosmo Town. It can out Breaksword, Beatrice. There's a lot of things that this card can out, and that can be very good indeed. Plus it's got a 3k defense, pretty decent. Then we have 2 DD Savant Copernicus. This is a Foolish Burial for the deck, as you can on summon, or it's normal or special summon, you can send a DD or Dark Contract card from your deck to the graveyard. You'd hardly ever send a Dark Contract card unless you are using something like Kaiser and Tell, but I don't run those ones, so I don't generally send a Dark Contract to the graveyard. I usually just set up my graveyard with Necro Slime, Swirl Slime, or Lamia, depending on what I need at the time. Also with Keplars if I want to fuse with Necro Slime, but all the good things are in my graveyard, and there's no other bad thing, so I'd probably send a Kepler to the graveyard to fuse with it instead. Then we use the Speedroid engine of triple Terratop and 1 Red-Eyed Dice. I use Red-Eyed Dice to go for a synchro option. If it was going for Dante, it would be Takenborg, but Dante isn't as effective in this, whereas Speedroids with Olay's Meteor Burst can be very nice indeed. Plus it's a level 1 tuner, so you can use Where After to search out your Kepler and your Lamia and your Necro Slime, which can be very nice indeed. You always need to run 3 Terratop because you want to get out as soon as possible. You don't want to use max of this though, even though it will kill the other usabilities of the other Terratops, just because you don't want to dead draw a Red-Eyed Dice. Then we use the typical DD playsets, which are Swirl Slime, which you can fuse in your hand to make a DDD monster using itself and 1 other material, and you can banish it from your graveyard, special summon 1 DD monster from your hand. Definitely a playset, always going to be a playset of this card. Then we run triple Necro Slime. Originally this was a 2 of, but it's now have to be bumped up to a 3 of because you have so much usage with this card, and you can easily make a graveyard resource. Not to mention you can search it with Where After, so it's a very good card. When it's in your graveyard, you can banish it to fusion summon a monster using itself and 1 other monster, so you can make a Beowulf, and then you can overlay for Titanic Galaxy if you have Ragnarok already on the board, which can be very good key card for your combo plays. Then we have Triple Lamia. This is the global for the deck. You can, whilst cards in your hand or graveyard, you can send one DD or Dark Contract card from your hand or face up from the field to the graveyard, not depending on the monster, because if it's face up on the board, it'll be going to the extra deck and not the graveyard, so you have to send it a non-pendulum monster unless it's in your hand. To special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. This card can be overcome its banishment by being overlaid into Princess Sprite, which can get you a technical draw or discard depending on what you top deck, which could be very nice indeed. It's a 1900 defense, so it's a pretty decent defense if you're in a really bad position. And it just does so much. This monster is so great. It can be revived through Timujin. It can basically be revived through Ragnarok. It has pendulum effects. It can be reborn with Alexander. There's so much things this card can do. Then we run one global as this additional level 1 tuner. You never know when you want to use global, but your battle time is already gone. So it's pretty nice. You can easily summon that 1-for-1. Then we have Triple DD Savant Kepler, staple in the deck. It's our searcher for that searcher, which is really weird, but yeah, you generally don't put him in the scale, although it's at 10 scale, so technically you can pendulum summon in this deck, but it's not advised. When he is normal special summon, you can activate one of the following effects: bounce a DD or Dark Contract card from the field to the graveyard, field to the hand, not graveyard. Or secondary, you can search out one of your Dark Contracts, which is generally going to be the gate, but you can sometimes search out the Fusion contract. I don't run the Trap contracts, mainly because they're a bit slow. I would probably side in, particularly for this format, the contract with errors, as that is basically Trapstone that you can turn off and on, which can be very nice indeed. Next on to spells, we have 1-1-for-1, which is basically especially something now Lamia or Kepler or global, depending on the situation, which is good. 1 Regeki, because it's Regeki, also has Monarchs. Triple Pot of Cupidity. Pot of Cupidity is a weird one. I both love this card and hate this card. This card can cause issues because it can banish all of your monsters that you need. The one example was in one duel I banished all 3 Swirl Slimes, which was annoying, but you can get around that through Speedroid Omega. But it can make you plus so much because it is essentially a +1. You replace itself and draw one more card. Not to mention you've taken 10 cards out of your deck, so you increase the consistency of drawing all the rest of those cards, although it is random essentially. Porcupity is still a very good card in this deck. I would run it over a Lurid Artist. Unless Upstart Goblin went back to 3, then I probably would run a Lurid Artist. Not a Lurid Artist, Upstart Goblin. Getting confused now. But Porcupity, quite a good card. Then 2 Whereof Thou. If you could draw a level 1 monster, you can add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. Very powerful, as you can just special summon Lamia by sending Necroslimes to the graveyard, or other DD monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, or Dark Contract. And then add the Kepler to your hand through Whereof Thou, and then normal summon and evade the cost of 2000 life points. Or you can fusion summon Diark, use 1 or 2 of these, and gain 2000 life points during your end phase, which could be very nice indeed. Then 1 Soul Charge, because Soul Charge, you reborn your combo pieces. Say if they've beaten up your board, you can then reborn all your monsters back, and it's good. It's good indeed. Shame Monster Reborn is not legal in CCG anymore. Then we have Foolish Burial, because it's Foolish Burial, send 1 monster to the graveyard, simple as. 2 MST for Monarchs, Triple Dark Contract of the Gates, which is your search card for your monsters, add any DD from your deck to the graveyard. It's not activating on summons, so they could just MST it as soon as you activate or chain to it, which is annoying, but it's decent. All Dark Contracts have the penalty of taking violent damage during your standby phase, but if you have Diark on the board, you're gaining that instead, which can put you further in the game. Pretty nice. Then we have 1 Dark Contract with the Swamp King. You have already 2 ways of fusion summoning in your deck, which are Swirl Slime and Necroslime, and this one's searchable, so you don't really need to max out on this card. The only benefit this card gives you at the moment is that you can fuse from your graveyard without Necroslime, and you can fusion summon out DD Wave Oblivion King Kaiser Ragnarok, which is an out for Cosmo. Then we have one Vantage Emptiness, since this can be turned off by DDD Siegfried. Then we have one Solemn Strike, because it's Solemn Strike, one Solemn Warning, because it's Solemn Warning. Then, onto the extra deck, we run one Silovin Princess Sprite. For the moment when you don't want to get rid of your Lamia, you either reuse it later on in the duel, you can just overload for Princess Sprite. This can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a spell trap, add to your hand. If it's not, send it to the graveyard, which is decent. It can set up your graveyard for Necro Slimes and Swirl Slimes and all that kind of stuff. Then, onto rank 8, we run one number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, because it negates spell cards, and it can easily be made in this deck. It's a technical lock card for this deck. Very good. Plus, it can protect your monsters. If another monster was going to be targeted, it can be attacking into this card. Then we have one DD Duo Dawn King Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is a heavy storm and negates all of her effects on the field when it is summoned. Pretty nice, good against pendulums. Plus, it can put a dark contract back from your graveyard to your field, which is decent as well. Then on the Synchro, one Formula Synchron for when you do need a tuner and you don't want to, and you're sacrificing Lamia to summon this. You can get a tuner back out. It can sync with Timujin to bring out Siegfried. Plus, you draw one card and summon. Decent as well. One Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. This is what you usually go into with Speedroid Terratop and on the Red Eye Dice, because it can special summon your Pendulum monsters from your Pendulum Scales to further combo with, which can be very nice indeed. Also has the effect of monsters can't activate their effects during the battle phase, which is good against current meta at the moment. Then we have one DDD, Gale King Alexander. I generally didn't use this card before I made this version of the deck. That's mainly because I didn't know its potential, and it has some great combos with Timujin. When you normal or special summon a DD monster, it can revive a DD in your graveyard. Most likely this will be Lamia, or on the off chance Copernicus, which is very nice. And then you can, if you remine Lamia, you're syncing with this, you can bring out Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Then onto the level 8, we have Speedroid Omega, which is an annoying card for people to deal with, but he can basically put your banished cards back into your graveyard. Very good indeed, although it's an expensive card in the TCG at the moment. And it can also disrupt your opponent's plays during their main phase, because you will tag him out. And you can also put back your Regeki or Soul Charge back into your deck if you want to hopefully draw them again if it's in your graveyard. You can also technically DD Crow your opponents and bounce back their cards as well into their deck. Then we have one DD Cursed King Siegfried. Siegfried can only be summoned with a DD monster as a non-tuner property, so you generally summon this through Timujin being synchro summoned with Formula Synchron, or Alexander being synced with Lamia or Glow Bulb. Its effect is that during either player's turn, you can tag one face or spell trap on the field and negate its effects. Since this is a quick effect, it can negate stuff like Regeki, Dark Hole, and MST. Because I was going to say Heavy Storm, but that's not legal. So that's very good indeed. Pseudo Lock with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, basically negating on all fronts. Then, when it is destroyed by battle or card effects and sent to the graveyard, its mandatory effect will activate, gain 1,000 life points for each dark contract, which can basically worsen the pain you'll take after Siegfried is lost. Then we have one Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, because this can easily be done through Alexander Lamia or Glow Bulb. When it monster returns during your player's turn, when a monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy it, and then it gains attack equal to that monster's attack for the rest of the turn, which can be very powerful indeed. But it's also a Cosmo out, mainly because if it battles a monster that's high level, like level 5 or higher, it can have an honest-like ability to gain its attack and beat over it, and then when those Cosmos try to float, you can use Crystal Wing to negate that, which can be very, very powerful indeed, and it can easily be brought out in this deck, particularly with Meteor Burst or DDD Gale King Alexander. Then we have our fusion monsters, 2 Blaze King Timujin. Timujin gives you a lot of combos, revives all your monsters, where DD is special summoned to your side of the field, except this card. You can revive a DD monster from your graveyard, which is pretty good. You generally don't use a secondary effect when it's destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects. You can target a dark contract card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Generally you don't use that effect because you usually synchro with him later on. Then we have 2 DD Oracle King Diak. Basic effect, if you take effect damage, you can gain that life points instead, which is decent. Plus this is level 7, so it goes with your synchro plays for bringing out Siegfried. She's usually the base for Siegfried. Then we have 1 DDD Cruel Dragon King Beowulf, mainly used because he's a level 8 and can be summoned after you've done all your combo plays to overlay to bring out Titanic Galaxy with Abyss Ragnarok fusion summoned through Necroslime and Banishing Temujin, which had already been synchro summoned with. It also has a secondary effect, the main effects, that it can do piercing damage for all DDD monsters. That can be good against stall decks, and your standby phase you can heavy storm the field, which is also nice as well. Then 1 DDD Wave Oblivion King Kaiser Ragnarok, the Monarch out, not Monarch out, the Cosmo out, which is that it doesn't target for its equipping of your opponent's monster as long as you have a DD or Dark Conjurer card to bounce back to your hand. It also gains the attack equal to that monster's attack, which can, if you equip a Dark Destroyer onto this, makes it a 6/2 beat stick, and it basically redeclares the attack because you're generally going to be attacking a monster, which is very good indeed. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see further content. If you've got any suggestions for this deck or suggestions for my channel in general, please leave them down below in the comments. There'll be polls at the top of this video like usual, because I want to hear your feedback on things I want to do. And if you want to see when I'm streaming, the information will be on my Facebook page, which is in the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Matarant signing out.